let's click this. Anyway, thanks for joining us on Duggystoneradio. Introduce yourself. The
band. Front man, you go first.
Go on then. Yeah. So yeah, I'm Tristan. I'm the front man of the Mease. Yeah, rhythm guitar, singer, main songwriter.
Songwriter legend.
Is that your introduction?
No, that's him.
All right. What about yourself?
I'll just tag along and play a bit of guitar.
All right. Okay. Cool.
So I'm Guy, lead guitarist, and sometimes songwriter, but not very often.
Yeah. Yeah, because you have to pale in his greatness up there, don't you?
That's it.
You both seem a bit quiet. Are you okay? Are you all right?
Yeah,
just
good.
Listen. There's going to be about 3 million people watching this. not to put you on the spot. Let's lift it. Anyway.
Yeah.
So when did you? How many's in the band? Is it 3 or 4 of you? I'm not sure.
There's
4 of you, isn't it?
5. 4 or 5.
4 or 5,
depending on who turns up.
Who can be bought? A bit like Eddie King doing his son's weekend show. When he can't be asked, he just doesn't turn up. Just does his show. Do you know what I mean? That's great.
Exactly, mate.
Great way to run a radio station.
So yeah, when we're full capacity, we're 5.
Excellent. So obviously one of the things you're going to talk about, what will happen during the show if people are new to watching it, and especially you guys, is during it, if the band's got videos, we'll be playing a video. They will be off screen and we'll watch the video and then we can all enjoy that. So got a couple of tracks lined up, I believe, from, and it takes us straight in, your album that you've released.
That's it.
Yeah.
Go on,
Tris. The World in High Definition is our debut album. Quite a few of the songs we've been working on for a good few years now, and then we just kind of it was probably the sort of the main ambition we had as a band was to put an album out, particularly get it on like physical formats, get it on vinyl, get it on CD, and we're really pleased with it.
Oh, so you've actually launched it on physical, not just download. That's cool.
Yeah,
because obviously the way the world at the minute is streaming on your streaming platforms, whichever flavour you like, and the benefit bands get if people go out and buy the merch, don't they? Buy the albums or buy the CDs. So that's pretty cool. And because I was going to say to you, it's unusual, and you've probably sort of answered the question. A lot of bands now don't drop albums unless they're like, absolutely huge and they just throw them out there. But it's not a thing that people normally do, is it? They do an album, they do singles, or they do EPs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So was the rationale behind the album because you wanted to do it into a physical format?
Yeah, I guess it was a bit ego, really, wasn't it? Just we're all into vinyls and proper albums, and grew up in the 90s, early 90s. We were into our albums, into Oasis, and obviously the Beatles, and they're all bands that were built around good, solid albums and famous albums. So we're coming through, and the main ambition was we wanted to drop an album. We wanted to drop it on vinyl, mainly for our own ego, so we can add it to our own record collection, and we kind of built it around that.
What's wrong? There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong in that. Enjoying your own stuff.
We have done EPs, and we've done a couple of singles here and there just to sort of get ourselves established. But it was always with the ambition ultimately to get the album out there, and now we've done one, we want to get on to doing the next one.
Cool. So from an album point of view, sometimes follow a theme, or there's a feeling behind it. What's the feeling behind the album, or story behind it? Is any particular topic?
So I guess I'm not sure I necessarily set out to write a load of songs on with a theme, but I think the kind of the main theme, and probably the reason for the title, The World in High Definition, is just, I think the main theme that sort of runs through it is just my view and our view of like the world today, and the fact that you are basically surrounded by 24-hour rolling news, whether that's social media, TV, or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just everything's there. It's in your face, and I guess it's just sort of our personal view of how that world feels today on probably quite a range of different subjects, but yeah, all sort of threaded with that one theme.
Oh, cool. All right, I think what we'll do, I think we'll dive straight into a video from the album. We've got Postcards, the official video. Obviously, you've explained what the album's about, and I presume this will go. I mean, I've not watched it yet. None of us watched it yet because it's going to play it now. But it starts off with people boxing. Right, we'll be right back.
Yeah.
I'll be right back with this.
Let's do it.
Let's get it on there. So that's Postcards Wonderful. Great video from the album The World in High Definition. And if you was watching the video is in high definition. Definitely right. It goes along. Oh, I've got a question. Great track. I love that. I've got a question from Shawnable, who is on Mixcloud. I think a few people have had problems with Mixcloud freezing up. Just come off it, reboot it, and come back on again if you're on there, because I think people have dropped off and dropped on again. But anyway, it's been recorded for YouTube, so we're out there. But he's asking, what are you into, cats or dogs? Now, the reason he's asked is because he works for Wolf and Brew, which is a company that makes dog beer and dog tea and stuff like that, and they've got a product, or one of the beers is called it's called Bottom Sniffer. So there you go. So that's why he's asking that. So he's after a bit of a plug, isn't he, for his thing? Anyway,
Sounds like he is.
Yeah. What do you like, dogs or cats, or neither?
I'm more dog than cat.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. I had a dog when I was little, so yeah, I'm definitely dog camp.
Cats stand.
Yeah, definitely dogs for me as well.
Yeah, cats stand cats.
Definitely team dog.
They're horrendous things, horrendous creatures. Danny Miller must be mine. I'll try it later. I think there's been a couple of issues with Mixcloud, because Janice has had problems with Mixcloud. I tried to get it on my phone. I rebooted it while the song was playing, and it seems to be okay. But this will be on YouTube anyway, so you'll be able to watch it. Your delight. But it's a shame. Shawnable says, my new favourite band. That's because your dog lovers, you say. Yes, Wolf and Brew. He's a great guy, though. He's always supportive of us, and he does sponsor some of the shows.
Does he do those products in t-shirts as well? We could wear them on stage.
They might do. Well, I'll ask him. Shawnable, have you got any t-shirts for the band that will wear them on stage? How is that? That's freaking brilliant, isn't it? I'm a bottom sniffer. Wonderful. Your all-time favourite that's what she's saying. What's your all-time favourite album? Because you did mention Oasis. They're on the back wall there. Someone did that for me. It's a proper painting, which is cool. It's a print of it. So yeah, what's your favourite album?
I think
on,
mine.
Tracy, you can answer that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think mine sort of changes from one day to the next, but the most consistent one over the years probably is definitely Maybe by Oasis.
Oh yeah. What about you?
For me, probably Revolver, Beatles.
Oh, cool. Do you know what mine is? The World in High Definition. That's my favourite album.
It's a good one.
Is it good? Yeah, it's up there.
You need to go and get it. You're right there. There's a couple of classics. I think one of my first albums I bought was the Beatles' Love Songs, and I adored that. I think there's some cracking tracks. I know that's not an album per se, but it's good. But definitely Maybe is phenomenal, isn't it? And I think I'm a bit older than you. Some of mine were like the Human League and Dare and stuff like that. So yeah. Cool. So obviously big influences on the band. This comes up a lot. Someone's asked the question again. What's your writing process? So, because people are different, and we like to understand that what they write. Some bands, ding ding ding, we're playing some music, we're jamming. Oh yeah, we'll put some lyrics to that. Other people go, there's the lyrics. Now you go and put some music to it. How do you go about it?
I think we've sort of developed slightly different ways of doing it over time, really. But so Postcards that we've just listened to is one of the older tunes that me and Guy sort of wrote together years ago, and that was kind of me. I'd strum a few chords on an acoustic guitar, decide what words sound right, work out what the song's about, and then we'll kind of build it from there, and then add the rest of the instrumentation. I think more recently done a bit less of that, and we have sort of done a bit more in the rehearsal studio as a band, where I might have sort of a little bit of a song started, but I've certainly not finished it yet. Then we'll kind of add all the instruments and everything, and then it's kind of my job at the end then to work out what the song's actually about and put the kind of fill in the words at the end.
Interesting. I mean, when you're talking about that process, well, in my head, I'm thinking about stuff, because we all obviously consume a lot of music. We like your favourite bands or your favourite tunes. It must be difficult as a writer not to sort of end up do you ever find yourself writing and think, oh shit, that's a like that Liam Gallagher sings that? Do you know what I mean? You start. Does that ever happen? I think that's quite an interesting thing to understand.
Well, I think what I try and do, I guess it's, to be honest, it's probably a thing that Noel Gallagher did a lot of back in the Oasis days, was that you'd probably like to drip feed other song titles and references into your songs,
Yes.
but without like copying the lines or anything like that.
Yeah.
So it's probably a bit of that in there. There's probably reference to some of our other favourite songs sort of throughout the album.
That's probably.
But yeah, I mean, to be honest, some of the subjects the songs end up being about, they tend not to be that similar to other songs that you might have heard out there.
Yeah,
there's not many love songs on the album. Put it that way.
Oh, well, there's enough people doing love songs, isn't it? Leave that to someone else, and we don't just need love songs, do we?
No.
Seanable's come on. He says we don't do T-shirts, but what a great idea! So you never know. He might produce them just for you. He might say on the front, you type the band title and bottom sniffer. You never know. It might be something we arrange for you. 5 T-shirts.
Maybe that'll be the album 2 title.
Album 2, yeah, and bottom sniffer. I'm a bottom sniffer, but yeah, it could go all over the place. Could go Pete Tong really quickly. So hopefully Danny Miller's still with us. I'm not sure. He might have dropped off. I think he has actually. So we sometimes have some similar questions. Have you had any disaster? Have you're touring or doing stuff? Have you had any disasters in the studio or on tour, or is there anything you've? What's the worst thing that's happened?
There was the old Bluetac incident, wasn't there, Trish?
Yeah.
On,
yeah, we so this was sort of when the band was in its infancy. I think it was just the 2 of us actually at the time.
Yeah.
That night we were just going to go and play a few of our songs, plug a few of our songs at a local open mic night in Derby. And when we got there, we're the only band there. And it was open mic in that they had a microphone, but they didn't actually have a microphone stand. And because we both play guitar, I couldn't really hold the microphone. So we ended up sort of blue-tacking it to a chair, I think, the microphone, which was quite different.
Unbelievable. It's like Phoenix Nights, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was very Phoenix Night there.
We're gonna have an open mic night. You're the only ones that turned up, and we've got a mic. Of course, we've got a mic. Yeah, there's a mic. That's absolutely. What do they expect you to be doing? Do you know what I mean? Jesus.
I've just got this memory of that night where we were playing. Was it Columbia by Oasis? Just the 2 of us absolutely belting it out to a room of. There was about probably no more than 10 people in there, and you just doing your Liam Gallagher into a microphone, blue tap to the back of a chair. So
stood there,
a unique experience.
Yeah. But having said that, it's a great memory because you're talking about it, something you can have a big giggle about, isn't it? But the second thing, I think a lot of people want to go from, I don't know, concepts of an album to playing the O2. Do you know what I mean? And I think unless you've had those instances where you're playing to half a dozen people, I don't think I think everyone needs that, whether they're public speaking, they're an artist or in a band or whatever. I think you need that low end. Oh shit, this is reality. There's 5 people stood in here, and do you know what I
mean? Yeah. I was gonna say definitely, because the we played quite recently. We played in the arena at Derby, and there was quite a good few hundred people there, and a lot of people are asking me before and since, sort of, were you nervous, or how were your nerves that day? And to be honest, I think it's easier to play in front of a few hundred people where you can't see the whites of people's eyes. It's just a big blur. There's just a load of people there.
Yeah.
Than when you sat in a pub in front of about 5 people and it's complete silence and they're just staring at you, expecting you to do something.
You can smell the breath. You can smell the breath from the stage.
Yeah. And you get very specific, direct feedback on the song you've just played as well.
You're like, oh, fucking the time to this is shit, mate, isn't it? Fucking, have you heard these 2 here? Thinks he's fucking Liam Gallagher. Look at him, they're rubbish. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying you were, but you can get all that kind of.
One of the songs on the album, Victory Road, we were told was challenging, which apparently was a compliment. But
challenging? What, to listen to?
Yeah.
Oh, unbelievable. They can't satisfy them. And they probably paid nothing to be there either, did they? It's probably just been put on by the pub, because by the sounds of it, it was a freebie, because, even I've got mic stands and I'm not even singing in here. It's just in case anyone pops up, there's a mic stand there, people can use it. Unbelievable, isn't it? Absolutely crazy. That's brilliant. So we'll flip that on instead. That's the worst thing. What was the best, most memorable then, where you've been and done stuff that you think, wow, we come off stage and that was great. That was awesome.
In terms of experience, so Tris mentioned Derby Arena, and it's definitely the biggest stage, biggest event we've ever played. So that was more kind of before we went on. We walked in and we'd played in a little pub the week before, and to then the next gig walk into a massive sort of arena venue, and you're looking around, and one of the bands was sound checking, and it was loud.
Yeah.
And you're just looking around going, bloody hell, this is good. How did this happen? So yeah, in terms of the magnitude of it, that just felt massive.
Yeah.
But yeah, the best gig we played, actually, I think, was over at Rough Trade in Nottingham. First time we played there, and it was a free entry event. I can't remember how we ended up getting on the lineup supporting a couple of local bands, but it was absolutely packed, and it was first time we played at Rough Trade, and everyone, right from the first chord strum, everyone was absolutely going for it.
Yeah.
And it was the first time really we played to a crowd like that, who were properly getting into it, mosh pits and all that kind of stuff, which we're not really a mosh pit kind of band, but they were properly going for it. So that's the one for me that sticks in the memory, is that's what it's all about.
Cool, love it. I'll tell you what, I think we're going to have another track. This one is This Town. What's the story behind this? This is off the album as well, isn't it? This Town. Yep. Yeah,
it is. This was written by Adam, who's the bass player and piano player and sometimes harmonica player in the band. So he came to us with this song just when we were starting out. I think there was only 3 of us in the band at the time, and he just sent a load of tracks over that he'd recorded, dodgy recordings that he'd done at home on his own. Sent this one over, and it was like, mate, it's not only a good song, this is like the next single. This is brilliant.
Oh, I'm liking that. I thought, I wasn't quite sure where that was going to go then, but that sounds good. The fact that it's turned into a video and it's on the album means that it's okay. In your eyes, sorry, it's good enough to go on the album. Yeah. That's what I mean. Right, let's play this then. We'll be right back.
I'm already halfway gone. feeling back here again.
There you go, people. This sound, I like that. It's got a rhythm and a beat. It just takes you straight away. Really gets you. Love that. Love it. Yeah. Someone's put on your YouTube. Dig that groove. Yes. Yeah, I like it.
Nice
Really
one.
good. The beat just gets you, doesn't it? It's a cracking track. Love that.
Yeah, you can tell that's been written by a bass player. That tune.
Yeah, I really like that. I really do like that. It's brilliant. Just drives you like, I want a bit more. I want more of this. I'm gonna have to listen to this again. Very good. So Janice says, any difficulties putting the album together and getting it into vinyl? Because we've had, I think, what you might be in by that. There's been a few bands that have gone. They've not been able to release it. People have paid for it, and it's like, so have you had problems putting it together and then getting it out?
Not really, no, because kind of friend of a friend kind of put us in touch with the vinyl production company. So I think we had probably a few favours in terms of fast tracking us through the process.
Like it.
But we wanted to get the album out in time for that Derby Arena gig that we were talking about.
Yeah.
So it was a bit of a tight deadline, but really that gave us the impetus really to get in the studio and finish it. Whereas if we didn't have that deadline, we'd probably still be recording it now.
Yeah, that's good. That sometimes it's not good to have a deadline, but sometimes it is good to, because you'll just carry on, won't you? We've got loads of time. Oh shit, but we've got to have it ready for then. We've got to have it ready for that. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I guess to start with, we'd been working on like sort of doing it on weekends, like so doing a long day at a weekend, like once every other week or so. Whereas the deadline sort of meant that we were kind of in there midweek, late nights, just trying to get bits down whenever we could, really. And I think definitely having that sort of that enforced deadline definitely made us stop faffing around and getting on with it and getting recorded.
Oh, it's not ready yet. Well, it has to be ready because it's going out soon.
Yeah, exactly.
So where did you promote? Oh, sorry. How did you deal with the vinyl sales then? Did you do that yourselves, like have like 20 boxes in your lounge and then just post them out to everyone? Was it one of them?
Yeah, pretty much. So we put it on pre-sale and sold a few before anyone had even heard it. So which blows my mind that people were obviously anticipating it coming out and backing us really that it was going to be decent. So and then the feedback we've had since it's come out, everyone who listens to it has good things to say about it, which is great. Like I said, it started off as a bit of an ego project, really.
Yeah.
So the fact that other people are enjoying it and feeding that back to us is brilliant.
No, it's good that I get that. At least you've got something tangible and you can grab hold of and go, this is our album. In years to come, this was our album. So yeah, I like that. I think it's great. I think it's a good thing. It's a good thing to do. I think there's a hunger now for I think there's a bit of a shift back in some respects for people to the time when there was a value and waiting for an album, putting an album on or putting a track on, rather than just going, oh, what's the next playlist on there? I think there's not everyone's doing it, but there's your core fans or fans of the music and the genre will consume the music because they want that in their hand out. They want to physically feel an album, put it on and listen to it, or a CD in the car rather than just listen to the next
Definitely. It's definitely the way like I've always listened to music is albums. I mean, I've still got massive stacks of CDs and I've still I've quite recently actually I got my old CD player broke and they're quite hard to come by these days, but I managed to get hold of one. So I can still just dig through my old collection, and it's a better way of consuming music than just going on Spotify and letting them choose what you want to listen to. Sort of thing.
I think also as well, I think like a lot of young people will appreciate it because they like. I mean, I like the availability that I can just go on and you just get a load of stuff. But however, if you're gonna seriously want to listen to music and you've got CDs or records, you've got to spend a bit of time and effort to decide what you're taking with you. I mean, so say you're going out in the car, you're not going to have open your boot and there's going to be like 300. I've got all my albums here. You've got to go, well, I'm taking 5. What are the 5 that I'm going to take for this weekend or whatever? So you've got to be quite selective in what you're picking, haven't you? Does that make sense? So it's sort of, you're more invested in, like, well, yeah, I've picked these, I'm going to have a listen to them. And it's good. I think that what I notice, and you see it a lot, is people put a playlist on streaming platforms. Oh, skip. Oh, yeah, listen to this one. You think, this just doesn't seem right, does it? Doesn't seem right. Why are we doing this? Why are you doing it? Skip. You can spend, you could do a 10-minute journey and you've not listened to anything because you just keep skipping the tracks. Bonkers. Anyway. Deadlines are bad if you've got a beer in hand and a deadline is 5 p.m. That's from Shawnable. But I hope he's not drinking dog beer. That's the issue. As long as he's drinking proper beer, that is the main thing, isn't it? That's the main thing. We sometimes ask this one, Room 101, and you don't have to answer it. You can be diplomatic if you want to say, no, I'm not answering it. What bands or music would you slap in Room 101 because you think it's absolute crap? Or we shouldn't be listening to it? It's overrated.
Ed Sheeran.
Oh, there you go. That was quick. Yeah, he wants to answer.
Yeah,
Ed Sheeran.
Not really thought about it, but Ed Sheeran. Get him in the bin.
Good.
Maybe not they're in like the artist in totality, but I would definitely chuck Chelsea Dagger by the Fratellis into Room 101.
Oh, it got overplayed, doesn't it? Everyone plays it.
It just gets everywhere.
I'm doing an indie show, and they put that on, and that's why I do a show on a Thursday morning, which is Dougie's Atomic Dustbin, and it's an indie show. Mainly indie. We do play independent rock and independent pop, but 99% of it's indie. Because, people say, oh, I do an indie show. And you go, oh, yeah, go on then. And here we go, the Charlatans and Chelsea Dagger. And you think, come on. There's stuff out there. There's people, they don't need the promoting. You don't need to play their music. Let's play something fresh, God's sake. So, yeah, I get it. I hate it when you get a track that's overplayed, and good tracks always get overplayed, and you've got to leave it years before you listen to it and go, oh, this is a cracking track. There's some tracks out there and you think, oh my God, you're not playing this, are you? So
yeah, I mean, like even Wonderwall, it's a brilliant song, but no one needs to hear it again.
No, it's played too much, isn't it? It's been overplayed, and it's it's when people don't potentially understand the genre, whether it's indie, rock, pop. They will go to those things that they think is indie, pop and rock, or reggae. And, is Bob Marley, Three Little Birds. There's more to Bob Marley. There's more to reggae than Bob Marley and Three Little Birds, you know what I mean? Or UB40, Red Wine. No, come on. Do you know what I mean? But that's what you get. But you play some reggae. Yeah, here we go, UB40, Red Wine. Right. Oh, yeah, you've thought a lot about that, haven't you? So, yeah, great. At least you've answered it, which is wonderful. Let's see if there's any more questions. Reboot's working. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, that was from earlier on. Deadlines. Is there not getting? Oh, we've lost that now. We've lost that. So when's you said you are working on your new album. When's that in the pipeline? No. New album.
What?
Your new
the
album.
Next one.
You said you've done this one, and you think about the next one. So how far you are down that process? Is there a time when you think it's going to be released, or you've started? Have you started?
Yeah, we're still very much the sort of early stages of that. We've still got quite a few songs sort of left over from when we recorded the first one that we've kind of got in the pipeline. But yeah, I think it's just lacking. I think we need one or two more tunes that'll sort of pull them together, and then we'll work out what the next one is going to be all about.
Well, you should be proud of yourself for what you've produced so far, because I think it's great. So, and just keep producing more. So what? I don't know if I asked you that before. What got you into playing? What was it that got you to play music? Did I ask you at the start? I can't remember.
No, you didn't. I bought. I think me and Guy actually, we both sort of bought guitars at similar sort of times. I think like when we round about like sort of the early university days, it's just that thing where you're like, oh, I've suddenly got a bit of spare time. I'm going to learn to play guitar, because just been into sort of like indie music, rock music for a number of years. So I just thought, right, well, just seems to be the kind of natural progression to buy a guitar and learn it. It's a hell of a lot harder than you might think it's going to be when you do that. But interestingly, I think like we both started learning guitar at similar times, but we're both went in very different directions with it. And yeah, I think I sort of went down the road of like, let's sort of try write my own tunes and stuff like that quite early on. And then like, I guess a couple of years later, when me and Guy sort of were like, oh, you play guitar, I play guitar, let's get together. And we played a few other people's songs, and then I was just like, right, Guy, I've got a few songs that I've written, and you started playing over them, didn't you? And it just sort of went from there. And then we kind of let it sit for about 8 years before we actually did anything with it.
But that must be a real buzz for you, mustn't it? You know, like if you're into, I can't play. I've tried to learn the guitar, hopeless. I've got the drums kit there. I need to learn to play. Not very good at that. But to actually then, if you're passionate about music, which you obviously are, and most artists will be because that's why they're doing it, and then you produce your own work and then go and play it, that must give you a massive grin on your face.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's a big change in it from like we've done gigs where we just play covers, and it's obviously good to just be on stage and playing music, but definitely playing your own tunes and seeing people respond to something that you've created.
Yeah,
it's a totally different kind of feeling, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose the thing as well, it's not. I'm not saying it's the easy option because it's not, but doing covers means that you've got a chance that the people stood out there are going to know the lyrics and going to sing along, aren't they? So actually, there's a bit of a joint thing going on because we know the words to this because you're singing a song that we love. We're in, so that must connect you straight away. I suppose the challenge is, especially if you're first starting off, when you're singing a track that only you guys know or people that have seen you somewhere else, that can be quite interesting for the other side because they don't know the lyrics and can't sing along, can they? So do you normally get steps?
Yeah, it's definitely different. I mean, like when you're playing covers, you know that there's like a handful of sort of go-to songs that if the atmosphere is a bit flat, well, if you get those songs out, I mean, I mentioned Wonderwall a minute ago. It's one of them that you need it up your sleeve because if the gig's a bit flat, play a bit of Oasis and everyone will join in and sing along, and it's nice and easy and everyone will have a good time.
That's not a bad tip, that, because you're right. You could play something that gets everyone engaged and they go, oh yeah, brilliant, and now they've heard that and they can relate your music and go, actually, yeah. Cool.
But when we're doing a gigs and it's like just our stuff, it's very different because you're kind of playing the song and like people are just sort of stood there and looking at you. And you don't know if they're enjoying it or not, so you almost have to wait to the end of the song to see if there's like any reaction or anything. And thankfully, generally, it is a positive reaction. But yeah, I mean, you do get the odd gig where if you're just not in we played a venue in Barnsley in the summer. It was jam packed, but I think people were just there to drink rather than to actually see any bands, and therefore, like they weren't really paying much attention. So you kind of don't really get much back from that. Whereas I think it's the gigs where people are just sort of staring at you. At least they're listening then, sort of thing.
Yeah, and it's difficult. I mean, I do public speaking in schools and colleges and what have you, and sometimes they're all sat there blank faced, and you think, I'm dying. I just want to curl up in a ball and hide and crawl off. Do you know what I mean? And then you finish it, and they all come stand and want to chat to you, and you think, where's that come from? You just like all start like that. Oh, fucking boring you to death, shit. And then it gets you, and you start this mental thing in your head going, oh no, this is crap. Or what do I need to do different to sort of get it going? And then they've enjoyed it, and you think, where's that? It's bizarre, isn't it? It is bizarre that with an audience where you don't know what they're thinking, and they might go away and go, they were a brilliant band or afterwards. So, but your music, having said that, one of the tracks we played before, I've not heard it before, and I got right into it straight away. So yeah, if you do that live, then if you're into music, you're going to start bopping to it and pick up the odd lyric in the chorus and maybe try and sing it later on. So
yeah, and it's not always the songs that you think it's going to be that people connect with.
Yeah,
like there's one that the longest song that we do is called Black and White Shades of Blue.
I've got that.
And
next.
That started off as, have you got that next? Oh, yeah. It's seamless. And that was one that we took into the studio as it was just a little, started off as a little acoustic number that Tristan had started putting together, and then we jammed it out and started piling loads of stuff on, and we ended up playing it for about 10-15 minutes in the studio, and then it became this like psychedelic absolute monster, and and we played that live just because we love playing it. And
yeah,
it was that
more
one
for our own
that everyone was,
entertainment.
and it was that one that everyone seemed to sort of connect with and groove along to or whatever. So yeah, that's definitely a staple in the live set list. And
excellent. Well,
it's got to go on the album.
It's over 6 minutes long, so we might not play it all because obviously, but we'll play a good chunk of it. And so we're going to play this. We'll come right back, and let's see what we've got to say after this. Oh yeah, I'm digging it straight away, loving it.
I can feel it slip
Loving that. Nearly played the old track. Yeah, and that's why people like it at the gig. That's brilliant. And about 3 million images of people on the video. So that was interesting as well.
Yeah, Guy got a bit carried away one day when we were putting that together.
And I noticed what you did, subliminal messaging there. The band appear in it every now and then, don't they? Silhouettes of the band. Yeah,
That's
good.
it.
Yeah.
Smart move, guys. Oh, who are these? Yeah, that sounds very similar to another band that we've had on the show, and we've played theirs, Treble Helix, and a track called Moon Rabbit. Very similar to that, and it's one of those that grabs you straight away, and that does as well. It's like a modern take on an old school track, if that makes sense. It sounds familiar, but not a copy of something else. It's got the right vibe to that. And if you're into indie music, put that on. That'll sort you out, I think. I like that. Definitely a cracking track, and that's why people like it when you go on gig, because it's a cracker. It's an absolute stonker of a track. Let's see. I think we've had problems. Is anything? Have we got any messages coming through? We've had some issues there today, which is not good on the old chat. Right. So where's the best place for people to get hold of you? Is it which is your social media preference?
Instagram mainly.
Yeah.
But we're on all of them, apart from TikTok. Not broken TikTok yet.
No. You are trying.
But yeah. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We've got an account on all of them. So,
Reels is quite good on Facebook. I've found. I used to do lots of videos on YouTube, on Facebook, get 1,000, 2,000 views on lives, and then went down to about 3. It's ridiculous because it changed algorithms. But Reels is quite good. I've got stuff on there, few hundred to thousands. I've got one that's on there. It's bonkers, 33 million. So it's well worth trying it. If you get the right video, it goes crazy. What's this says? What a great track from Fractural Fan. It was a great track, and go and check it out. In fact, I'll drop it in the group chat for you off the old Spotify. However, go and buy the album, and then you can play it whenever you want on your CD player or your record player, whatever. There you go. That's the link to it on Spotify. Go and check that out. What gigs you got? I think we've asked that, Janice, already. What gigs you've got coming up? Did we ask you that? I'm sure we did. You said you got some gigs. Did you say?
No, not yet.
Right.
Yeah, so we're in the middle of a bit of a sort of a mini album launch tour. So we've done Derby Arena already. Rough Trade mentioned. Then we've got on Saturday this weekend, we're doing a couple of in-store performances at HMV's for National Album Day. So National Album Day this year, they're getting behind debut albums.
Yeah.
So we're going up to HMV Meadowhall and HMV Derby, both on Saturday. So yeah, come and say hello if you're in the area. We'll have some of the albums to sell, hopefully. We'll sign a few, and we'll have some T-shirts and stuff. So yeah, come and say hello.
Brilliant. Well, yeah, because there's an HMV in where I live, and it closed down a bit back, and it's reopening, so which is great, really. And well, I often puzzled when I walk past and think, does there still a need for an HMV? But yes, there is. People still like to do it, don't they? Like to go and look through the albums and go, I'm having this. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, they're definitely trying to get more bands like in store to do like in-store gigs and stuff as well, which is really encouraging. Actually,
that's a good idea. Maybe I need to go with a camera and my rig and do some videos of some live streams from said HMV. Never know, do you? That'll be a thing for us. Yeah.
And then we've got the final gig we've got of this part of the tour is at the Victoria in Birmingham.
Right.
That's on the 12th of November. So that's a headline gig. I think there's 4 other bands supporting us as well. So it's going to be a really good night. I've checked out some of the bands and they're really good. Looking forward to it to check them out.
Do you know who the other bands are? I'm not putting you on the spot. I know. I felt a bit awful asking you, and I thought he might not.
We've definitely got the Matchbox.
The Matchbox,
right? It's one of their tunes.
Yeah, check them out.
One of their tunes recently. It's a banging tune. Called Closer, I think it's called.
Never mind. Well, you will. They've got a gig on, people, and they've got some amazing bands with them. One called Matchbox.
Come and see them for yourself.
Come and see them for yourself. It's a secret. We're not telling you until you turn up on the night. Yeah. There you go. That's that. We've got any more. Oh, right, okay. Best I don't know if this means in your music, but someone said I got it out in a minute. Best advice given, and by whom? So, well, you could relate to music or life, couldn't you? I suppose. It's just always a tough one, that. I have people ask you that sometimes. You scratch your head and go, what's the word? And the reason why I keep saying to you, have you had to ask that question, because my producer has made me do 3 interviews in the last 24 hours, and in my head I've got 3 interviews all mashed together, and I don't know who I've asked what, when, and why. So that's why I keep saying to you, have you asked you that? Because I have asked it on other interviews. So that's why I might think I'm losing my marbles. I've not. I've just done a lot of work. Yeah, best advice. Oh, I'll tell you what, we'll flick it on the head while you think about that. What advice would you give to some young chaps in uni now and going, oh, let's get a guitar? What advice would you give them? Because that's how you started, didn't you? What would you say to them?
Yeah. My advice to that is just, go and do it.
I love it.
Yeah.
Loads of people say that. Just
spend
do
your student loan on guitars. It's never a waste of money.
Could
but
be
yeah,
worse.
just go out and do it. Form a band. Like, yeah, go on. We wish we'd done it bit younger, like, if we'd got a band together when we were 18, would have probably been rubbish, but equally we'd have had a great time like we're having now. So
you never know.
Yeah,
I mean,
no time like the present.
You never know. There's a young band in Derby called Marseille. They're 16, 17. The parents have to drive them to gigs, Isle of Wight Festival that they've played, and they're awesome at 16, 17. So
we know those lads well.
They're good, aren't they?
Yeah, I think they're going places. So yeah,
definitely. Just do it. Oh, she's laughing at that. So yeah, cool.
Yeah, I think best advice. I can't remember who it was that said it, but I remember talking to someone at one point who just basically just said, like, sort of don't compromise for people when you're playing gigs. Do what you want to do, because if you like, I guess we talked a bit about earlier. Like, I guess when we were starting out, we did quite a lot of covers and stuff, but that was more just because we were learning how to play live and what to do. But I think once you've got a band and you know what you want to do, then just go and do it and do your thing, rather than sort of doing what you think other people want to hear.
That's good advice, because you never know what you don't actually know what other people want to listen to anyway. And my wife's a designer. I said that to her. Don't produce things because she didn't need to do it to make the money. Money's another thing, but do the crap that you want to do. Same as the shows, same as what we're doing on the station. Some people say, why are you doing that? And they're doing that way. People don't really want that. Well, don't they? I like it. I want it. So that's what we're doing, And if people don't, there will be, if I like it, there's going to be other people that like it. Same as music. If you producing, as long as you can play and you can sing, you like it, someone else is going to like it. And I think a big clue is that last track we just played. You played it because you liked it. Guess what?
Yeah.
They all like it as well. So brilliant. Shaunable, I think he'd be drinking. Would you rather end up like Pete Doherty or Shaun Ryder?
What, end up looking like?
Would you rather end up like Pete Doherty or Shaun Ryder? I mean, he's a mess, isn't he, Shaun Ryder?
Yeah, well, Pete's pretty big these days, isn't he? And that's the problem. Like, it says end up like, but Pete Doherty's not like. He's probably no older than us.
I know. I don't know what it means by that question, but anyway, I mean, it depends if you're into your sex, drugs, and your rock and roll, doesn't it? And your burgers.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, Shaun Ryder's probably a fair bit older than Doherty, and he's still going. So I guess there's at least longevity in whatever he's been up to.
I'd say definitely. I can't believe he's still alive, can I? Ozzy Osbourne's another one. How's he still alive? Still going, isn't he? Bloody, he must have had more drugs in him than bloody Lloyd's Pharmacy. Yeah, there you go. So I don't know if there's any more questions coming from that. So I think what we'll do, there's a couple of things, because we're going to play the last track. I'll play the track. We'll let you get on with your day and carry on doing what you're doing. We always ask artists to do us an artist drop. Now, I've noticed when there's more than one, it gets messed up. Yeah. Because you try to sync, because you've not practiced it. I would like you to do an artist drop. So I don't know if you want to do one individually or just one of you. Basically just say, this is your band's name and you're listening to Duggystoneradio, and then we'll put that on the shows that we do, you see. Can you do that? Do you want to do the band name, Guy, and then I'll say the Duggystoneradio bit? This is brilliant.
This is good. Yeah, I like this. Well planned. So we are Guy and Tris from the Mease,
and you're listening to Duggystoneradio.
Fucking magic, man. Magic. I like that. You
You're
divided.
dealing with pros
You
here.
divided it up, and I like that. That's absolutely brilliant. I love that because we've done a couple recently. We did one yesterday. We had 3-4 members of the band, and it was like a train wreck. And then we keep playing this one, but actually, I'm going to play it for you now. Mantra Ray, and I did the same with them, and that's why I'm going to change it. However, Mantra Ray get played on virtually every show because they cocked the thing up, and this is what they sounded like. Have a listen to this.
Hello, we're Mantra Ray. You're listening to Duggystoneradio. That's fine.
No, it's not fine.
You sounded asthmatic.
So, yeah, that's what happens. That's why I'm going to start splitting them. Otherwise, it doesn't sound good for you. It doesn't sound good to us, does it? So, what I was going to play out, is there anything I've not asked you wanted to get out there? There might be something, we're doing this now, or we're doing that now. Is there anything that I've missed before you go?
I think the one thing that we should mention, we just need to mention the name of Tom J. Bath, who was our producer and sound engineer on the album. He's got a nice little cozy underground studio in Stoke. So just, big shout out to him, because we sent him a couple of demos early doors of just like, some of our ideas and what we thought the songs might sound like, and he just got it straight away, got the vibe that we were looking for, and that's
cool.
what you can hear on those final album versions is him getting what we were after.
I like that. Thanks for that. I'm glad I asked you that question, because you always go, we never thanked him, or so. It's been absolutely brilliant talking to you. Love the vibe, love the music. I'm gonna let you get on with your day. I'm gonna play out with the Long Road, which I think is your most popular track so far on the streaming. Might not be what people have played on their albums, who knows? But on the streaming, that's the most popular track. So I'm gonna play out with that. So thanks for being around. Good luck with the rest of your album that you've released, your new album, your HMV tour, and the other stuff you're working on. I think it's great. Keep at it. Got a great vibe, great sound, and we kind of like it.
Awesome. Thanks for having us.
No problem. Thanks for coming on. It's been wonderful. It's been absolutely brilliant. And I'm going to let you get on with day. We're going to play this track, and until next time. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Well, that's the end of another Duggystone Radio introduction. They were absolutely brilliant. The music is on point, and it's nice to see a band releasing an album, isn't it? And brilliant, absolutely brilliant tracks. And we've been sponsored by Wolf and Brew, so go and get 10% off Wolf and Brew. Go to wolfandbrew.com and type in Duggystone 10. You never know. You never know. You might see the Meases with some bottom sniffer T-shirts on. They've never been produced before, but it might be something that gets produced. Go and get, seriously, if you go and get the gift pack, which is bottom sniffer, you get one of these bandanas that you can put on your doggy, or if you're so inclined you can do it yourself. If you don't want your dog drinking dog beer, even though it's not alcoholic, you can get stuff like Earl Greyhound, which is a tea for your dog. Yeah, there you go. That's it. Anyway, it's been wonderful. Thanks for the band for coming on. Janice for sorting out our producer. If you're watching on YouTube, come to the station or go and check us out on mixcloud.com as Duggystone Radio. If you follow us, you'll get notified when we go live streaming like this or when we upload a show that we produce. And if you like your indie, come and join us 8 till 10 a.m. on a Thursday UK time on Duggystone Radio, or say Alexa Open Internet Radio, or go to Mixcloud Live. And we do what we've just done then with the band, but in a smaller format. We're probably those bands that we interview on that show normally may only have got 1 or 2 tracks out. The bands that we interview and do an hour-long show normally have videos that we can play, and it just makes it for a better show, if that makes sense. But yeah, thanks for everyone, and I'll see you next time. Don't forget, if you're on YouTube, so please subscribe so you get the next ones, and come and join us. Go to Duggystoneradio.com and see what we're all about. Until next time, Kirk out.